Good morning, and welcome to our continuing series, Interviews with Disciples and Devotees. I'm grateful to say that Madhusudan has agreed to a third interview this morning. Namaste, sir.
Namaste, Narad.
You are going to talk about hormones.
Yeah, how boring to talk about hormones. Who cares? But believe it or not, if you understand a little bit about hormones, you will see why at times you might even think that all the spiritual rituals of meditating for hours and praying and doing all these ascetic activities are, to me, redundant because you, through your hormones, can attain that. I'll give you one single example of a very simple hormone called oxytocin. It is built by a gland in your brain, in the rear of your brain, and it is the hormone that is responsible for mother-child physical relationship, where there is the attachment of the child to the mother. For instance, when the mother to the newborn baby offers her breast, the milk that she starts producing is an effect of this particular hormone, and it is this particular hormone in the child and in the mother that brings about the bond between the mother and child. Now, the qualities of this hormone is that of almost, you can call it morphine or heroin or the divine grace that calms you, or what you get through what you get through meditation and so on. It is a hormone called also happiness hormone when you feel well. It makes you feel well. It's the hormone that makes you laugh, or that when you laugh, it is very strong and very present. And I'm sure it's one of the hormones that is very dominant in me because I love laughing all the time. There's nothing that I find serious in anything. I have not found seriousness in anything. I think everything has a sense of humor in it. So, oxytocin is a hormone that is produced by your brain, and it produces every time you experience something pleasant. Pleasant music, pleasant feelings, when you receive a caress, or when Sri Ma blessed me or touched me, or when she held me in her arms. Automatically it produces in the child through the mother, and through the child the mother. It also takes place through your orgasm, through sexual activity. Very, very important. I'll explain that why why monks live in monasteries, isolated and all that, has to do with this particular hormones without their knowing it. And this hormone also takes place when you are in love, when the person you love smiles at you and you feel good and you say, I love you. This is the most wonderful hormone of the body, and it has a calming effect on you. There are other hormones that have adrenaline, for instance, that agitate you and bring up your heart rates. So this particular hormone, I said, my goodness, could replace perhaps hours of meditation in front of the samadhi. And I'm not saying that samadhi does not have energy and samadhi does not have its importance. I would even say universal importance. But leaving aside that particular notion, I see people virtually sitting for hours meditating. I know of a doctor who specializes also in homeopathy in Italy, who practices, I think he says it's Zen meditation, but he sits in front of a wall, a white wall, and for an hour or two he's sitting there staring at the wall. It gives him its benefits. I'm not denying the benefits of meditation. I'm only saying that there are things in your body that automatically does that what meditation does. It calms you down and it makes you feel good. And if you feel good, you don't need to meditate. I don't think. This is why I'm afraid that when some of my ashramite friends see that, they're going to stone me saying, hey, you're teaching people not to meditate. No, not at all. I'm trying to only explain that there are things that are just as important that can replace that. And there's nothing wrong replacing it or complementing it. So you can meditate. I know, I never meditated. And you know the story I told you in one of my last interviews, what Mother told me about meditation. She said, don't worry, don't meditate, watch your stars, as long as you don't disturb anybody. And she was laughing. And I had asked her, how come I? She said, you will understand later. And now I understand why. Because I'm in a constant state of meditation, even if you see Madhusudan as a dynamic, active person. And I am dynamic. I'm not that passive person like Dalai Lama, thanks God, because it would be boring for me to be Dalai Lama. I adore him. He's a wonderful person. And the world is better because there are beings like Dalai Lama, you know. But my God, I don't have to be one. So how do I go about attaining what he's attaining? Through the way I am. And you see, there are hormones in me that give me that. When I feel so wonderful about the mother, when I'm talking, when these tears come, then this bond that I feel with the mother is also part of the effect of oxytocin in me. And the doctors have not seen this value of it. And when you consider, I ask myself, why is it that monks, because I told you, I love, one of my hobbies, my greatest passion is music, especially piano, but I love music to listen to it. The other thing is writing. And something wonderful that I enjoy is thinking, not meditating, but thinking on specific subjects, like on oxytocin, what it does and all that. So then I said, hey, why is it that monks live always secluded in caverns or in monasteries up somewhere in the mountains where there is no traffic, no nothing? And I think it has to do with all these aspects of human being, this oxytocin that they need, they get because there's a peace there and all that. And they are abstinent. They don't. Sex is not permitted in religion, as you know, for people in the Christian religion, priests and nuns don't have sexual lives and so on. So how do they manage? If there's enough oxytocin, they don't need an orgasm to feel well. And also because perhaps some of these biological needs, and even that, this sex need, is a divine thing. What would happen if there was no intimate relationship between two loving people? There would be no creation. The procreation comes through this divine love. But all these things, I think about how they're positively related, and I don't see it as a stigma that there should be no sex and things of that sort. And the mother, also talking about sex, to me, she taught me totally differently about all these things. Absolutely, my goodness. And as I said, if I'd talked about these things in the open, they would have said these are lies, this is blasphemy, and they would stone me to death because they think mother would never say these, never explain me things like this. But now I'm explaining it through medicine. That I'm seeing that medical science proves to me that spirituality and medicine go hand in hand, and one without the other is less than one with the other, then we are more. Medicine is more or better with spirituality, and spirituality is enhanced through the knowledge of medicine, especially the knowledge of how this brain works, which is my specialty. That it is the thing. Mother told me, étude, regarde très bien et comprends le cerveau qui est l'organe le plus important dans cette manifestation. It is the most important organ in this divine creation, the human brain. Then everything apart from nature, everything that you see, everything, including the underwears that you are wearing, were created through the energy of Lakshmi, the divine grace that makes things happen, and through human brain, and without which nothing would take place. So hormones are very important, and if you understand them and know how they work on us, then we could also avoid a lot of illnesses. For instance, there are hormones that stimulate heart problem, that stimulate your adrenalines that are generated through your kidneys. So spirituality can help us control these emotions that are negative to your kidneys, for instance. but also the functions of optimal kidneys will help us be more serene and not be over agitated or excited and have heartbeats and blood pressure problems. And I'm sure, and I'm willing to prove to anyone and everybody, that one can work miracles and that there is no illness on this earth that man cannot cure by himself. Doctor does not cure, it is not somebody outside that cures, it is the body that cures itself. That is, the divine in us has so much power, but we don't give it enough power. We don't exercise the power that we have in us, this energy, this consciousness, this soul, l'anima. We are too concerned with our body, muscles, our six packs, how it looks there. All that is, to me, less, because if I'm not conscious of myself. But it's optimum when I'm conscious, and it gives me the best of both.
How do you activate these positive hormones?
Tremendously. This is where the positive hormones come together with spirituality. If you're aware of these hormones, if you're aware of what spirituality does, this state of consciousness, meditation, going to the samadhi, hey, try it. Go with the right attitude. Don't ask. Don't say, cure my tumor. Just go and become one with the energy of samadhi. And wonder, you will see how your hormones are in optimal level. And I'm willing to bet anything. I don't have money, but I would give you whatever I have to prove to you that you can do this miracle. Not me, but you. You have a problem, come with me. Go to samadhi and do what I'm saying. Become one. And that's where Mother said, you have to dominate this brain. The brain is your worst enemy, because it's there where all these troubling thoughts come, your fears, your anger, all that. But your brain is also your best friend, because if you master it, oh my goodness, you can enjoy music, you can enjoy everything. I enjoy everything. Good food. I love top quality cognacs. I love top quality whiskeys. And they say, hey, you're spiritual? Yeah, in my own way. I'm perhaps not the type of monk that you meet in Tibet, but I'm in my own way very spiritual. But I enjoy all these things, but I don't abuse them. I don't want alcohol to dominate me. Freedom is my birthright, and it's the most cherished thing that I have, is my personal freedom to think what I want to think and to be who I want to be. And I'm sure you can activate this power in you so that your hormones are optimum and your health is total harmony with your mind, body and soul. Truly try to be conscious of things that you like, and try and feel that what you like in its pure essence. Even if it's a gulab jamun, a sweet, I want you to eat with awareness. We enjoy it, but we enjoy only the taste. We do not enjoy the energy of it and your conscious state of what you're enjoying. Because people are too busy talking while they're eating. And I like to concentrate on what I'm doing. And if you're centered, you enjoy every single thing you do, including eating. And at times I also enjoy getting angry. But don't do what I say. Just do what is right.
Are you still in touch with this lady?
Oh yes, she calls me every day.
And how are her tremors?
She's completely off medication of Parkinson's, she told me.
She taken pills still?
She has promised me, she has reduced them incredibly, and her friend who brought to me says it's true. She has reduced her pills without you checking on them and without you hammering her, because she's so motivated. She says, and the more I'm getting rid of the pills, the better I'm feeling. And she has no more tremors. She walks, she used to have problem talking. Now she talks with affirmation. She's very self-conscious. She's dressing herself, looking after her looks. She says, I feel younger. I feel better. And she is so grateful. She says, look, You have this small place where you're practicing and you have a small room behind where you sleep and everything. And I'm offering you my entire top floor that was my mother's place where nobody had the right to even step in. There is a bedroom, there's a kitchen, there is everything. There is a bathroom, there's a balcony, everything. And you're out in nature on top of this hill in Turin. And she says, you have fantastic view and all that. And there you can really have a wonderful life and be yourself. And I said, there's two problems. And she said, what are they? I said, you're very kind to offer me all that. It doesn't cost me nothing. You're saying I'll be your guest and everything. And there's a maid who looks after the house, cleaning and everything, living in maid in her house. I said, there are two problems. One is that where you are living is up on the hill far away. And when I come to Turin, I don't have a car. I come by plane. And in terms of transportation, there's a complication. It's too far. Also for patients to come there and all that. Or if I have to come here and practice, I have to come down and it's far away where she lives. That's one problem. And the second, even more important, I'm so happy with what I have. I have a little paradise here. I don't need to see why I have to change this paradise for another paradise. It's good where I am. And I'm too lazy to pack and go. It's just an argument. I'm really happy with what I have. It's wonderful. It's my little paradise. The moment I close the door behind me after I finish my work, I have no television, but I have a music system, very simple. But I listen to the music and I do my thinking and I do my writing. I enjoy life.
Can you give us one more patient's example of how they cured themselves, perhaps of cancer
Yes.
or diabetes?
Yes, I've had several patients. I had one patient, she was a doctor of psychology. She was diagnosed with cancer. She came to me and she says that she refuses to take chemical therapy and she wants to be treated only with alternative therapy. And I said, look, I don't do any therapies. I don't cure, I don't heal, I don't practice medicine. I teach, I give you knowledge, and you can then work with that and you can really... And she says, fantastic, I feel already, just talking to you, hearing about you, I knew that you are the right person that I can come to. And honest to God, her cancer had gone so far, even she had bone metastasis, they were very brittle.
Stage 4?
Oh yes, at least. But listen, I'm really, it is a fantastic story. Now what happened is that she fell and she broke her hip joint. Because the bones become very brittle when you have bone cancer also because of the metastasis and everything. And the pain is unbelievable. I have never heard in my life either animal or human being scream with pain the way she was screaming. And even high doses of morphine would not calm her. So we took her to the hospital and everything. She was in tremendous pain and all that. So they had to operate to remove it and put an artificial joint and all that. So the chief medical doctor at the hospital looks at her medical history, her results, how ill she is, and she's there in a state of coma because they had to put her in coma because her pain was too much. And he says to me, Madhusudan, what sense does it make to operate on this patient? The way it is, if she doesn't die today, latest by day after tomorrow, this patient is dead. And please don't do what I wanted to do, and don't take example from me, just listen. I wanted to slap. I really wanted to slap this medical doctor. He was the chief medical practitioner there in the hospital. Primario, they called him in Italy. I was so angry, but I controlled myself. And I asked him, just give me one explanation. He says, what? You're telling me if she doesn't die today, she will die latest by day after tomorrow. Please explain me, how is it that she's still alive today and she didn't die 2 days ago? If she didn't die 2 days ago and she's alive today, how can you prove me that she will die latest by day after tomorrow? So he looked at me very amazed. He says, yeah, you have an argument. And then I said, is she a cadaver or is she a patient? Because the difference between a patient is that the patient is alive. A cadaver is only a body, dead body. It's not a patient. I can't treat a dead body. Nobody can treat a dead body. And it's a medical practitioner's obligation. And it is every single human being's right to be treated by a doctor as a patient. No doctor should ever refuse a person who's asking for medical help. And she needed medical help, and I virtually was mad. I thought I want to see that they remove his medical license to even ask such a question to me. So he understood. I said, she's alive and she's a patient. We have to do it. And believe it or not, it was not me, but it was the mother, I'm sure, or Aurobindo, I don't care who. There was this divine grace that told me that no, this patient will not die. This patient will, her mother, her father was dead, her mother, all her friends, every single person was there. Everybody expected her to die. They were all prepared, they were all preparing even preparations for funeral and all that. And I told them, you people are crazy. And you know what? 3 months later, she went back to work. She was practicing. She bought a car. She got herself a little dog. A happy person. And the primario, the chief medical practitioner, asked me, what on earth did you do? I used to see her every single day.
Did she have the operation?
Yes, they operated.
They did operate.
Yes, they operated. They replaced the hip bone. She got cured not only of that, but she got cured of her
Bone cancer.
bone cancer. I can't believe it. This patient was very, very far away. But there is something, the soul tells the real story. Don't forget, you are not just the body that is suffering. Now it is not just your body that has the illness. You also have the soul. That does not have the illness. This energy, the divine presence in you, has no molecules. It can never get sick. There is no such thing. Only biology, molecular substances deteriorate. But energy never deteriorates. Energy can only be destroyed through energy. If it's a negative energy, you can destroy it through positive energy. But otherwise, energy cannot be destroyed by itself. I have patients, I can come to a door and they recognize without seeing me that I've come. And they already say, good morning, Dr. Patel. And they can't see, they're blind, but she feels it that I've come. And she told me, I feel your presence. How can you feel my presence? It's this energy in me, perhaps. So it's not your body that does everything. There's also the soul. So if your body say, use this absolute immense power in you, it's too bad that we're so aware of our physical body. Physical education, all this is important, yes. But even in the ashram, I have not heard anybody talking of this very important interrelationship, how you can apply this divine energy in us on our physical body. And the physical body, how it promotes this particular inner energy and concerns, because we are the temple of this energy. We live in our body. And we have to look after it. But then you got to look after what's living in it. And use it, activate it. Give it the power that it deserves. And the brain is the problem. It doesn't, we have too many thoughts, too many crazy ideas. I'm too lazy to think. I refuse to remember names. When I saw Narad, I recognized him, but I could not remember his name. It took me a while before the name Narad came. He recognized me straight away and said, "You are Madhusudan." But it's redundant information, names.
Yes.
And now I understand why Mother said, it doesn't matter that you don't read my books and Aurobindo's books. She told me that. I have told you in my other interview that she used to ask me to write. And I said, I don't want, until I finish reading the ones you have given me, I won't ask for books. She says, no. Ask. It doesn't matter that you don't read them. one day you might read them. Plus, you know already what is in them.
How did she specifically teach you about healing?
Oh, I forget the year when I had an accident, or we had an accident with my younger brother, Indravadan. We were riding on a Lambretta, like a Vespa, a scooter. He was driving, I was sitting behind, and we were on a mission to try and make peace between our two brothers who are fighting for my dead father's property, family heritage, all for money, the two eldest brothers. So we are trying to make peace between them. So we went to one brother, then we were on our way to the second brother, when in front of the Parkashabon guest house, there's a guest house at the end of this road.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah,
We
it's
call it Park Guest House.
Park
now.
guest house. And right in front, on that crossing there, a truck, it was an ashram truck, crossed without stopping, and my brother crashed into this truck. He got killed. 3 days later, he died, and I was very severely injured. And I was in the hospital. I remember 2 days afterwards, Dada came. He shut the doors. He asked everybody to leave. I was alone. And I was curious to see why are they shutting the doors, And he's sitting alone, and he says, "I have something very important to tell you."
Dada is pranab.
Pranada. And I thought that he's going to scold me because we had this accident, and Indravardhan was my younger brother, and perhaps I should have been riding the scooter and not him, but he was only a year younger than me, or something like that. And he was bigger and stronger and better in everything, in school, in physical education, in music, and everything. A very, very special person. And I thought, and he says, "Mother has asked me to speak to you." So I thought Mother now is going to tell, "Madhu, why didn't you protect your brother," or whatever. And then he said to me, "Madhusudan, Indravardhan has passed away." And when he said that to me, I was out of my mind. I said, "No, I don't agree with this. I don't want to stay in this stupid hospital. If it can't have saved my brother, I don't want to stay in it. I want to go home straight away." And believe it or not, the very same day, I insisted, and Mother gave permission, and they took me to my family's home. This is where it started, where Mother started teaching me what I can do and what I cannot do, and how I should do it and all that. With regard to Indravardhan, she gave me an explanation which is very fine, and she says he had performed his dharma and everything. It was time for him to go, and there is a very specific reason, but I think that never came through to my brothers, and they both died still as enemies. But that's the story which we'll talk about another time, because it's not interesting anyway. But that's where this entire thing started, where I asked the Mother, why come I did not die in that accident? Together with him or instead of him? And she said, "Oh no, my son. I have brought you every single time I have come on this earth, I have brought you to do my work. And you have to do this work, and this work has to do with healing. And this is why you are healed, because your work is to heal. And this is why you didn't die. I was severely injured, but there are no damages left. Because if you call me crazy, it's not this accident that made me crazy. I was born crazy, and I love to be crazy. So Mother says, this is it. And she consistently said, because in the past, as I said, when I was a child, I used to hit a lot. She had told me, no, these hands are for healing. Now she said, and every time I came, she spoke to me about this divine mission of helping humanity do her work and his work on a very important level, to bring this inner consciousness, this energy, spirit, soul, in true awareness of the body becoming aware, and the consciousness taking possession of the body. And she says, when you touch, you ignite, you transmit, you awaken the sleeping energies, because it's We are present in every single molecule in this world, not only in human beings. You awaken this awareness of our presence in them by touching them. And our presence is so strong, it kills the negative energy. Now, if I can cure cancer patients with this energy by destroying the energy that is the cancerous energy, it's the negative energy, through the divine energy, automatically the cancer cell that is malignant will die, but also the energy will disappear or get transformed into divine energy. And if it's not willing to transform, it gets destroyed. And this is not something I do mentally, that you destroy the energy, you touch and say, okay, go. No. You have to be in a state of this cosmic consciousness, the mother's and Aurobindo's consciousness. Hey, in all this, Aurobindo plays a very important role, but in a very, very silent way. He has intervened once in a very important state when I wanted to quit. That's when he came and said to me, son, no, mother has asked me to come to you and talk to you. You have to continue doing your work. And the mother was there. I said, Srima, why? Sure. He says, listen to him. And he said, you have to do this. You can't stop. You have to continue and everything will be fine. Don't worry. I said, I'm not worried. I just want to enjoy life. He said, okay, then enjoy, but do it. And that's when I got the message that my work can be also an enjoyment. It was. But she said, it doesn't stop you from having fun in life. So continue and give. And I found out that today I don't want to live because if I don't do this, I don't want to live. There's no purpose. As long as somebody needs me, I don't care. Even if it's a dog. If that dog needs me, I am going to be here. The day nobody needs me or nothing needs me, then I have completed my mission, I leave. But as long as somebody needs me, I will not die.
Would you allow us to give your email address to the people?
Anybody and everybody is welcome. As far as you know, that I am not a master, I'm not a guru, I'm only a transmitter of knowledge. If you want, that's why I don't even use the word teacher, because I just transmit knowledge. I just transmit information, which is important to you. Information that I've achieved through my studies, which is from the medical science field and all that, and information even more important that I've received through the mother and Aurobindo. But not through their books. Please read their books. Don't ask me what mothers has said about this particular subject or that. Their books are very valuable. Please read them. It'll help them. But I am always there for anyone and everyone. And not because you have money. You should come to me because you want to heal yourself and you want to realize yourself. And you can do it, and I will only show you and teach you or give you the information you need to achieve that. So, sure, I earn my living, my patients pay me, but I say to rich and poor, if you can't, don't worry. Come all the same because you want my help. Not because you have money you come to me because you need my assistance. But I'm there for everyone, for the rich and the poor, and yes, a little more for the poor also because they need more help than just this medical help or this divine help. We have to have compassion. They are ours. And please, even though it is not in this particular context of what we are talking, we are all children of the divine, regardless of our color, regardless of our faith and religion. Remember, I'm saying, regardless of our religion, we are all their children. And therefore, all human beings are brothers and sisters, or sisters first and brothers. So please, don't make distinction between rich and poor, colored or not colored, religion or no religion. Just remember, we are their creation. That's how you can love them, and that's how you can love yourself.
Thank you, Madhusudan.
Prego.
If you would like to contact Madhusudan, his email address is P as in Peter, N as in Nancy, I, PNI dot Madhu, MADHU at gmail.com. Namaste all. It has been a wonderful, wonderful morning for me to have Madhusudan here again.
Thank you. I love you all.